buongiorno. We're in Los Angeles. We're here in Rome, Follywood, and we're all over the world here at the same time. I'm Daniel McVicker. I'm here with Pascal Vicedomini.
Nice to meet you. It seems that I am a guest here. It seems that, you know, the American gets to Rome and then keep getting the space. I'm so happy to have here the Americana Roma, Daniel McVicker, and we are between Roma and physically and Los Angeles virtually. Although, as you can see at Chinese theater right now, there are people walking on the street, and I hope that today in the afternoon in Los Angeles, the Chinese theater will walk even more people to go and watch the movie Fellini of the Spirits, directed by an amazing director that is half American, or I don't know if she's totally American, but for sure she has so much Italian in her life that I can consider now Italian American. Anselma Dell'Olio, are you there, Anselma? And with them,
yes, I am.
Amazing
yes, I am.
people. We have amazing people. The Oscar winner director Bille August. Then we have an American producer I really love so much. My little friend that became a great woman, a mother, but still a producer that is really making Hollywood very young, and now she's growing. Danielle Robinson started as assistant of Alan Seeger, now became even more bigger as a partner, producing all Gerard Butler movies, not only. And then I have two friends of mine. Please, Larry, put the phone in horizontal way if you can, so we can have also exactly. Larry Russo, an Italian-American entrepreneur producer. I am so happy. He's talking from Phoenix, Arizona. And my buddy of childhood, Giorgio Verdelli, who actually is one of the real follower of the Beatles, who happened to become the most prestigious documentary director as a musician, because he really, there is no documentary in Italy that goes on air of the major stars that is not signed by Giorgio. And last year in September, Giorgio had also the pleasure to walk the red carpet in Venezia, because he dedicated the movie to Paolo Conte, who is one of my heroes, one of the Italian icon of the pop classic music. Am I right, Giorgio? Is right, pop classic music, Paolo Conte?
Yes, he's a true giant.
True giant. So let's start with, if Maestro August allows me, let's be gentle with Anselma Dell'Olio, who actually did a movie dedicated to the maestro of the maestros, Federico Fellini. As you remember, last year was his anniversary, the century and of Fellini, and Anselma dedicated his documentary. So, what is about Selma, the Fellini of the Spirits?
Okay, this film is dedicated to Fellini's most intimate source of inspiration. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay. All right. Fellini was. I don't know if I can talk or not. Can I talk?
You are.
I keep hearing other voices.
No, we are not.
Okay. Okay. Fellini was deeply interested in everything that was mysterious. He called life a mystery, and everything that was a mystery interested him. And he was interested in many different things in this field: the paranormal, religion, spirituality, Jung, psychoanalysis. And he was very good friends with a man named Gustavo Adolfo Roll, who was something of a miracle man, someone who produced incredible phenomena. And all of these issues, the whole film, it's an hour and a half, is dedicated to this, because this was never investigated before. Nobody ever really talked about this. It was considered sort of an embarrassment that he would be interested in these things. And in fact, he never made a mystery of it, but no journalist ever asked him about it. I saw hours and hours and hours of interviews with Fellini, But nobody ever asked him about these interests. He never made a mystery, astrology, all those things. He was interested in anything that helped him to come close to the mystery, what he called the mystery. So this film is dedicated to those interests. I worked with him for 2 years. I worked on Ginger and Fred. We became good friends. Every day before we'd leave wherever we were, he would do the I Ching, for instance. And so because this is his deepest source of inspiration, my producers, Mad Entertainment of Naples, approached me and asked me if I wanted to do this film. They knew I had similar interests. They'd seen my film on Marco Ferreri, Dangerous and Necessary, which was at the Venice Film Festival, and they asked me to do it. So I did, and that's what it's about, and people seem to love it and want to see it more than once, and I hope people in Los Angeles will like it too. By the way, I was born in Los Angeles, born and raised in Los Angeles. Are you there?
Federico Fellini. Federico Fellini.
Are you asking me a question? Because I didn't hear it.
To Maestro Bille August, what did Federico Fellini teach him?
I can't wait to see this film this lady made. But, when I was young, I grew up with Fellini's film. For me, Fellini and Ingmar Bergman was my big heroes. And he was, for me, so inspiring to watch his film because he was a really filmmaker. All his film was so cinematic. It really taught me how to make films. And also they were always very personal. And, he's my hero. He's really my hero.
So, Daniel, how is going life in Los Angeles? I mean, we started the festival on Sunday. It was a very, exciting for us to have the event happening because I know that theater in America reopened on March 30. It goes slow. They told me in Chinese theater that after the Godzilla event, the Italian festival was another expected event. For me, it was a big honor, but means that not many movies are coming out if they consider a little Italian festival a big event in Hollywood.
Listen, I would say it's a big Italian festival. And I would say that it's always an event in Hollywood. So it really is signifying, we're getting back into theaters and we're really excited about movies. And this is a wonderful way to celebrate the history and the love of cinema that comes from Italian culture. And quite frankly, some of the best movies, iconic films are always made and have a heart in Italy. So what a wonderful way to kind of ring in the bell that we're back. So I'm so thrilled for you guys to have this festival. And here in Los Angeles, we're just excited to be making movies again. We made a movie through the pandemic, which was we felt very lucky to do so, and everybody was safe and healthy, and we're making a great film, and we're going back to make another movie next month. But I find that art always finds a way to come through, and artists now are needed now more than ever, as art is bringing people together and making us feel connected through an incredibly disconnected time. And I'm so grateful to be on this panel with these amazing artists who are creating work to talk about and to make people feel, humanity in all of its beautiful and challenging ways.
So Larry, you live in Phoenix, Arizona, but your art beats Italian. I know there is no summer that you and your family move over, and we hope that you're gonna make this summer too, because we are reopening slowly, but we are reopening. They're creating so many COVID-free area, and if people get the vaccine, they may be able to join for the summer. Yesterday, the Consul General of Italy, Silvia Chiave, in Los Angeles, explained us the rules. So I suggest all of you guys in America that double check on the embassy, Italian embassy in America, or the consulate website in several towns of America, how to what's the procedure to go over to Italy. However, so Daniel said that life is going slowly back. What's your opinion? What's your feeling in Phoenix?
Are you asking me, Pascal?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm moving back my trip. I was going to come in June, and there's still a chance I come in June, but I'm looking more toward July, August right now because it seems to be going a little slower, and we're we're just brokenhearted about not being able to be there the last year and a half, 2 years, because it's something so important to my family. Did you want me to say something about Italian film? I didn't hear your question.
I wanted to know exactly what is your now idea. What is your idea about what's going on in Italy right now?
Well, regretfully, it feels like, at least what I read, it feels like that you may not be ready for us. You may not be ready for Americans to come there, in numbers by June. I was hoping to be there in June. I was disappointed to hear that certain sections have gone backwards and have closed. And we pray every day that we could get back to normal there, and we could come back to our second home.
So Giorgio, I mean, there is some wrong communication between Italy and the States, because we hear different story.
Yes.
I mean, they are trying to reopen, and even, I mean, in terms of the show business, early May theater might reopen for cinema, music, and plays.
Yes, let me say something. With Paolo Conte, in the 3 days of coming out in cinema, we was in the primo posto, first in box office, because Paolo Conte, as you say, is a true giant. It is the first time that Paolo Conte makes a documentary about himself. And I was colored because Paolo Conte is one of the most important songwriter in the world for me, but not only for me. In Europe, it's true because Paolo Conte is in the charts of French, Deutschland, also Russian, also many jazz clubs play music of Paolo Conte. But Paolo Conte is a great expert about Duke Ellington, and we make the final of the film in a old cinema in Asti, the city of Paolo Conte, when he looks a movie of Duke Ellington, who was the first movie about a man of color. You know what I mean? It's the first movie that the name is Black, Brown, and Beige, about a director who makes movie about colored people. And Paolo Conte really appreciates this thing, and this is one of the reasons he was in this project.
Well, that's the Paolo Conti. I'm living in Turin now, so Paolo Conti is really a part of the culture there, certainly. And this is a film because it opened right when the pandemic came, so it was a very difficult time when it opened here. But it certainly is wonderful. It's wonderful, and Paolo Conti is somebody that certainly stimulates the imagination in everybody. But we had earlier with us, and this is something, Anselma, you interviewed Terry Gilliam in your film.
Yes, I did.
Fellini.
Yes.
And he was with us just in the last segment and talked quite a bit about Fellini and his dreams. And certainly we compared Terry's work, and so it was a wonderful choice. Why did you choose Terry Gilliam for your film about Fellini?
Because he adores Fellini. He's spoken about him so often. I found lots of interviews on the web that he did talking lyrically about Fellini. He did it beautifully, and he loved my film. When I sent him the film you're going to see in a little while, he adored it. And he said I could use his praise anywhere I wanted to. He was just a delightful person.
What was the meaning of dreams to
Anselma,
Fellini?
can I
Yes,
say
please.
something? Paolo Conte said in the film that many of the people in these songs, in the song that he wrote, are like protagonisti, no? See, of a film of Fellini, because they are beautiful losers.
That's true. That's
You know what I
absolutely. I
mean?
love Paolo Conte's music, and I agree with him. That's exactly right.
Yes.
So, Billy, going back to the moment, what are you up to?
I made a film last year, and we were supposed to open the film now, but because of the corona and the cinemas has been closed, the film has been delayed. So we open now in August. And do you remember a film called Out of Africa by Meryl Streep and Robert Redford?
Yes.
Which was about this lady, Danish author who lived there. And the film I made now is about this lady, Karen Blixen. Her name is Karen Blixen. She's back in Denmark. She's old. And she starts to manipulate with young men. And it's a really story about manipulation. And
Yes,
it's a
yes,
beautiful
yes.
story. And we're opening that film now.
So it's a Danish movie.
It's a Danish film,
Of
yes,
course.
because she was Danish.
Okay. And so you shot all it in Denmark. I mean, you didn't go around.
No, we didn't go around. And the next one, I hopefully
but
it will
normally
be
you
this
make.
one.
Sorry.
Maybe the next one will be this one. It takes place in Ischia.
Exactly. I wanted to talk about this. I heard that you might shoot a movie in Ischia from a book of Henry De Luca.
That's correct. And it's a love story between a young guy, he's 16, and an older woman. And it's such a beautiful story. And it's about a summer there, a summer holiday. And he's so much in love with her. And hopefully we can shoot the film September, October this year, if everything goes well. We are right now working on the script.
Oh, the September should be fine. October will be a little bit windy down there. You'll be okay, though, I think.
We hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
And Danielle, what are you up to?
Well, we have a movie called Greenland, which was supposed to come out in theaters, and we were lucky enough to have it kind of come out on demand, and it's been a great success. I hope you guys get a chance to see it. We're really proud of that film with Rick Waugh, who directed it for us, and Gerard Butler and Miranda Bachman. And that's been out in different formats for the whole summer and winter. And we shot a movie called Cop Shop with Joe Carnahan and Jerry and Frank Grillo in Atlanta last fall. That's now in the edit. And we are shooting a movie in May called Chase, and then doing a movie called Plane. So we're very excited about this.
Great. So, Larry, what do you think? What's going on in the States? You are confident? Many people are getting vaccinated, but they are reopening very slow. Yesterday we had George Pernacchio of ABC Television telling us about how many protocol they have to respect in order to cover the Oscar. So the face looks like fine, but the art is very dramatized, and even the attitude is very concerned. What do you think about?
Well, Well, in the West, it seems to be not normal, but we're getting close to it. Right now, I'm looking at what's happening in Arizona, and yesterday we had 6 people die of coronavirus. 6. We were averaging hundreds. And yesterday we had 2% of the people that got tested were, were positive. And most importantly, um, we're at the lowest level of people being hospitalized for coronavirus since it started. And our people who are on ventilators here in Arizona, it's the lowest number that we've ever had. I think yesterday, yesterday was 70 people out of 9 million people in the state. So it's very encouraging. This started actually before we started vaccinating. We were moving down. So I'm hopeful that, of course, that the vaccinations are helping and contributing to this. But I'm hoping this is not a seasonal move down that's going to move back away. So right now, today is a wonderful day in California and in New York, in Arizona, as far as the infection rates and people being hospitalized. It's very encouraging.
I see. Giorgio, things in Italy are going a little slow, but are going. Last Saturday in Roma, the people that works into the live show business were demonstrating because we need to go back to work. What's your feeling? Will we go back to work soon?
Yes, I agree this because that live show is very important for many workers and for the Italian culture. I think that now we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, you know. But the real problem is that we need uh, consciousness, consapevolezza, no? This
Awareness.
is a real war. Yes, this is a real war, and so we need to stay united. United we stay. So we can uh, we can do better and better, and maybe we in I think in the end of this year we can do a normal time.
Anselma, so being a
Eccomi.
Los Angelina 100%, how does it
Yes.
feel to have your movie Fellini of the Spirits shown today at 4 o'clock over there?
My heart be still. It's an absolute thrill for me, Pascal. I'm so happy. I was born on Spring Street. I grew up in the Valley. I went to Villa Cabrini Academy in Burbank. And aside from at the Italian consulate at New Year's, I've never had a film in LA before. So it's a thrill. And I think Fellini would be happy for me too. I also wanted to tell Maestro August how much I like his films, and I'm very interested in the film he's doing on Karen Blixen and this love affair with a 16-year-old. I remember reading that her biography. It's a wonderful story. I look forward to seeing the movie.
Very good.
Thank you.
But your film will be showing in just about an hour down at the Chinese
Great.
Theater.
That's wonderful.
I believe that is it the 4 o'clock show today?
Yes, 4 o'clock. Yes.
4 o'clock show. So I wish I
Wonderful.
was there. I have to tell you because that film sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, if you send me your email, I'll send you a link.
There we go.
So,
Anybody who would
Billy,
like to see it, send me an email and I'll send you a link.
You
I mean, this has
got
been
it.
a
But
terrible year for movies, right? People whose movies came out in this year have not been very lucky, and I'm very happy because my film was selected by the Cannes Film Festival. It was at the Lumiere Festival in Lyon. It was in Bologna and Piazza Maggiore, but it was in the theaters and people went, but they were frightened because of COVID.
So, Billy, before we've been talking with other colleague of yours about how is affecting the platforms to the business and to the art, to the cinematic art. So in some way, the platform saved the business because without the platforms, even all the people did not have much, could not have much to do. So you are a very romantic director, very classic, and even the movie that you chose now to shoot in the future, and even the one that you just shot, shows how intimate is your feeling and I mean your idea of cinema. What's your opinion about this crazy platforms world?
Are you talking about the way films are distributed by the
Yes,
internet, or what
yes.
you're talking? Yeah. I think it's interesting that, especially now, because all the cinemas all over the world has been closed down, and all of a sudden you can just go to the internet and you can download a film. I think that's very interesting, and it also means that a lot of films that are normally very difficult to get financed. All of a sudden, there's a way to get these films financed, and I think that the ideal way is you can screen the films for a month or two in the cinemas, and then go to the so you can download the film. I think that may be the future for the kind of film I'm interested in, because it seems to be very difficult to get films financed nowadays, and with the streaming, it helps.
Okay. So, Daniele, you work normally on the movies that are called popcorn movies because they sell a lot, because they are top of the box office all the time. So, how
Pascal,
much?
my last film was about Pentecostal Operation Snake Handler. So we do big and we do
That's a
small.
that's a popcorn movie.
But
Yeah,
tell me
exactly.
something, my dear. So, being a producer of big movies that normally goes to the box office and perform, how does it feel to give up with all the money that comes from the live showing?
It's been a really interesting experience, but a positive one. Our movie was supposed to be on the big screen, and because of COVID, we did a direct-to-consumer release. And quite frankly, it's been incredibly successful. And we've been very pleasantly surprised about how many people came out to buy our film and see our film and seek out our film. And it was, thank goodness, and we're so grateful, one of the successful movies to be released this year. So we've been kind of thrilled at the result. However, I will say this: what I did miss when I saw it on TV is I missed the surround sound. I missed being in it in the way that I was able to experience it through the test screenings before COVID hit. So, I do think that there is a pro situation to both scenarios. Sometimes there's a movie I want to explore on my own, and I want to be in my house with the fireplace, and then sometimes I just want to be bombarded by sound and really experience the visual and audio effects of a larger film. So I do think that there's room for both platforms and both ways of distribution, and I think we should find movies that are celebrated in each way.
So Danielle and also Billy, do you see yourself creating also the longer form, not just the 2.5 hour films, but longer form, 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, as was described by a guest earlier, Kabir Bedi, a really long cinema, cinema series in that sense, not television, but cinema brought to longer form. Do you see yourself creating that sort of thing?
I'll let Billy speak to that because he's the author. But
yeah, I mean, if it always depends on the story, but if a story is told that way, of course you should. The possibilities are there, and I think that it's interesting to see if you look at the Oscar nomination this year. Most of the films are financed from the streaming services. I think it's something is going to happen that way, and if the cinemas and the streaming services can cooperate, I think it gets a lot of money, and it will change a lot.
Selma, do
Yeah.
you
And
think that this situation is affecting in some way on the way to think and to plan the production of the maestros such as Billy August?
Uh,
Question to Selma.
You asked me if I think it's affecting the way movies are being made.
No, the
Uh,
way that now the situation is for the movies that now are going to be produced with the concept that might not be on theatrical, because the theatrical business has a little crisis. We just saw
well,
the Archlight Theater in on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood was shattered. AMC theaters are suffering. So when
I know.
you need to make movies, now you have to think that maybe they might go straight on platform. And do you think that
Yes.
this business might be affected?
I hope not. I hope not, because I really don't want to lose the collective experience of watching movies with other people, breathing with people I don't know, and watching the film and feeling their emotions. There's no substitute for that. It's the small screen isn't going to go away. I mean, we're going to keep having the platforms. We're going to keep watching films on our TVs and our computers. But I really, really hope the big screen doesn't go away, because there's no substitute for full immersion in a film. When I watch a film, I want to be enveloped. I want to be swept away. And it's hard to get swept away when the dog has to go out and the baby's crying and the phone is ringing and somebody's getting dinner ready. I mean, it's just not the same thing. There's no two ways about it. And I just prefer that way of watching a movie. I'm glad there are other ways. I'm glad that means that more financing perhaps is available because of platforms. But the small screen is made for close-ups. It's not made for the movies we grew up with. It's not made for films. It's made for series, and there's a reason why the showrunners are writers. The showrunners are writers. The director's a hired hand. It's not the director's concept. So it's a very, very different. They're really not the same. A movie that's conceived for the small screen is not the same as a movie that's. I mean, when I think of Cuarón's movie Roma, which is a gorgeous film, and I saw it on the big screen several times. I loved it so much. I don't know what people saw when they saw it on the small screen. It's almost all gros plan. It's a full screen film. It has things happening on several levels. How can you see that on the small screen? It's just not visible. So I think there's a big difference. There's a big difference in a movie that's going to be conceived for the big screen and we need the financing. So of course, great. Welcome Netflix, welcome Amazon, welcome Hulu, welcome everybody. But I want the big screen back, and I want it now.
Giorgio,
Can I say something? Yes.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Chadwick Boseman, who might win the Oscar, the actor who just passed away recently.
Yes.
And he also did a movie on Mr. Dynamite, on James Brown. The movie was just coming out at the beginning of the pandemic, so maybe it was not seen by so many people. This talent is really amazing, and he might win the Oscar posthumo. So, you want to say something about him performing as a Mr. Dynamite? James Brown?
Yes, but I many years I interviewed the real James Brown at the Apollo Theater, because we will make a show called Naples Meets Harlem with James Brown, Art and Thunder of Chicago, and The Temptation, and on the other side, James Senese. James is a Napolitan black, and Tullio D'Episcopo and Nuova Compagnia di Canto Popolare. And at the end, the musician of James Brown called James Senese because they see a black man who plays saxophone, and they think that he was American, but he's Napolitan. It's a joke. But I think that Boseman is fantastic because when you play a giant like James Brown, you need to take the feeling of James Brown. He did.
Yes, and he is nominated and might win the Oscar for My Rainey's Black Bottom. Did you see that movie, Larry Russo?
Yes.
No, I did.
I see.
You gotta do it. And
Tremendous film.
Selma, did you watch this movie?
I did. I
No, I
loved it.
didn't.
My husband loved it. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Fortunately, we have a huge TV set, so we were able to see it on a relatively large screen because it needs the large screen. You can watch it on a small screen, but it's a very different experience. Beautiful film. Beautiful film. Loved it.
Danielle, do you think that Chadwick Boseman can make the Oscar this year?
He deserves it, quite frankly. I think his performance was outstanding and his body of work is inspirational. So I'm very hopeful that he will win the Oscar because I believe that that performance was the best performance of the year. One thing I wanted to say is we did some research recently about things that people are most excited about going back to after the pandemic. Are they going to see their families? Are they going to travel? And number 3 on that list was going to a movie with friends. So I am very hopeful that people have been really missing the experience, like you were saying, of the shared experience of movie viewing and that love of laughing and crying in the theater with others and sharing those emotions. And I really feel that people are going to rush back once it's safe because they've missed it. That's what the polls are showing right now. So I'm incredibly hopeful.
Now, Larry, it seems that the battle for the best movie of the year might be between Nomadland and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Abbiamo il saluto del regista di Chicago 7. So I would like to know, did you see any of this movie, Larry?
I'm sorry to say I haven't seen either of them, and my wife is a member of SAG. Well, we should be getting them and seeing them.
So,
Well,
Billy,
she might
who is
have
for
them
you the
already,
favorite
that's right.
to win the Oscar?
You know, I'm voting, so I'm not allowed to say anything.
Okay.
But,
So,
but
there is any special movie that you liked in some way, maybe for the just not the best movie?
I like Nomadland because I think it was an interesting take on a difficult subject matter, and it was a beautiful film. It kept it throughout the film, the tone and the performance. I liked it a lot. So let's see.
The vote are closed already, so the vote you cannot influence anymore. So
No.
I would like to know if you like the Pinocchio by Matteo Garrone, the costume. They are running for the best costume. You didn't see? Did you see the movie? Okay, perfect. So Giorgio, Laura Pausini, our friend Laura, find a great opportunity because she was told to sing a Diane Warren song in Sofia Loren and Eduardo Ponti movie. This is a once in a lifetime that happens something like this. Eh?
Yes, I'm happy for her. Really happy.
And what do you think? Is she gonna win the
Great.
Oscar?
Hey, maybe, I don't know, but she win just playing this song tonight.
Yes, so she already won the Oscar. I was talking about Alan Sorkin. Maybe this is my idea and our board idea. We named in Capri the best movie of the year, The Trial of Chicago 7, and also here we honored the director Alan Sorkin. Watch this.
Capri World Institute and their very prestigious board, chaired by producers Tony Ranise and Andrea Ervolino, and the festival's director, Pascal Vicedomini. Thank you for honoring the trial of the Chicago 7 with the Capri Hollywood Award Fest Film of the Year, as well as the Los Angeles Italia Best Movie of the Year. It's an honor, and I thank you on behalf of everyone involved with the film. I wish everyone a great year ahead and continued health, well-being, and happiness. Thank you, Capri World Institute and their very prestigious board, chaired by producers Tony Ranise and Andrea Ervolino, and the festival's director, Pascal Vicedomini. Thank you for honoring the trial of the Chicago 7 with the Capri Hollywood Award Fest Film of the Year, as well as the Los Angeles Italia Best Movie of the Year. It's an honor, and I thank you on behalf of everyone involved with the film. I wish everyone a great year ahead and continued health, well-being, and happiness for all.
Aaron Sorkin, did you like the trial of Chicago 7, Selma? You can tell because you don't vote yet. We don't hear anymore. Selma.
It's a beautiful film. It's beautifully written. The dialogue is fantastic. The actors are great. It really brought back that period, which I was, very young at the time, which means I remember it well because it was part of my life. Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful film. Absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Who's going to win, this movie or Nomadland for you?
I think Nomadland.
And
I love Nomadland.
For sure, the director, Chloe.
Best director, yes.
Yeah, she will win.
Right.
And so, finally, another woman will be on the major stage of the Oscar. Dear Danielle, eh?
It's about time. It's about time.
I think Chloe Zhao, she's made several films now, and she's very. Her dedication to authenticity is very exciting to me. The way she films the movie, it's a story of hope. I love that. We'll see you down the road. I think that's a really special way to look at how people are being brought together in really bad circumstances. And this is a look into a subculture that needs to be looked at and honored in its own way, and how a lot of American people have overlooked this subculture of nomads. And I think that her and Francis did a fantastic job. But I also love The Trial of Chicago 7. That's an incredible film. I agree the performances are great. And I also think Promising Young Woman and also Sound of Metal were outstanding movies this year. And Minari.
Billy, you won an Oscar as the best international movie is called now, best international film. So, how is the feeling for a director that is nominated a few days before?
It's of course an honor, but I think the worst thing is that everybody's asking how do you feel. I have to relate to that all the time. But to get an Oscar is it's somebody. A lot of people recognize your work, and it's a clap on your shoulder, professional clap on your shoulder, and it's just a great feeling. Of course, it means a lot, and it means a lot to the film you made, because all of a sudden it gets such an awareness. So it's good.
But winning an Oscar, it's then becomes easier, but then also more difficult because they always expect you to overperform.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's. They say it's easier to get the next film financed, and you hope so. But I think it's always a big struggle to find the money. That's really. But it has always been like that. Finding money. That's the biggest task. To get the making movies is easy. It's just to find the money. That's.
Giorgio, what is your favorite movie for this year?
I think that Chicago 7 can be a really great surprise.
Yes, we hope so. So Larry, let's close it with you and just say a few things about your upcoming trip to Italy. What do you wish?
I wish to go in June, so as we do every year, we celebrate my birthday and my daughter's birthday. But I'll be happy to come later, and I would appreciate it when you get home that you figure out a way to get the right message over to the United States, so that more people will plan and come and enjoy the summer there this year.
I think you'll be here in time for your birthday, or I think we'll be ready for you. Let me just say that, in time for your birthday.
That would be great.
Yeah, if you're vaccinated, because you're going to have a sort of a vaccinated passport to be able to travel as a tourist. That's what they're talking about now. Check with your local consulate, because things do tend to change. But they're talking about having a certification that you're vaccinated and okay to travel, and that will give you the ability to travel like a tourist in Italy. That's what they're talking about.
So let me thank Anselma Dell'Olio for her time today, and let's invite again everybody to go to see her movie in theater Chinese, Hollywood Chinese Theater. So let's thank Danielle Robinson, the sweetest producer in all over the world, a very successful young lady, and a big kiss to your son. Let's thank my buddy Larry Russo in Phoenix, Arizona, my brother Giorgio Verdelli in Napoli, and maestro Bille August, who is actually one of the most passionate friends I have, and I really love him because whenever I call, he's always with me. And so I can't wait you to be in Ischia shooting this movie by Henry De Luca. And for now, I thank you, and I show you what today, the story that came out on Rai News 24 by their correspondent Valentina Martelli. Thank you, ciao.
Nomadland! Dopo mesi di eventi e premi posticipati o cancellati, a Hollywood ritorna il primo festival aperto al pubblico in presenza ed è tutto italiano. Celebra le stelle del nostro cinema, infatti, Los Angeles Italia Festival, arrivato alla sua 16ª edizione.
Devo dire che è una grandissima emozione, perché a un certo punto pensavamo che forse non saremmo mai più tornati a fare eventi pubblici, no? Perché a un certo punto sembrava quasi che stavamo vivendo la fine del mondo. It's an honor.
È un onore questo, è molto importante riaprire, anche se in modo ridotto e seguendo i protocolli Covid, e riportare la gente a vedere un film in sala.
Al premio Oscar Nick Vallelonga e al produttore Andrea Iervolino il compito di salire sul palco qui a Los Angeles, mentre il fondatore Pascal Vicedomini, che non ha potuto viaggiare per le restrizioni ancora in atto, ha gestito la parte virtuale da Roma, collegandosi con tanti ospiti, inclusi dei candidati all'Oscar. Oscar che, ricordiamo, saranno proprio qui domenica prossima.
It's an honor. And I thank you on behalf of everyone involved with the film.
Ecco allora il saluto di Aaron Sorkin, premiato per il suo Il processo ai Chicago 7, che arriva forte di 6 candidature all'appuntamento di domenica prossima, e la divertente chiacchierata con alcuni dei protagonisti della vita davanti a sé, a partire dalla coppia Laura Pausini-Diane Warren, che pur se in città sono in isolamento come richiesto dall'Academy per chi parteciperà all'Oscar. Oltre a essere tra le favorite, e per l'occasione la Pausini ha portato con sé dei portafortuna dall'Italia, si esibiranno anche nella canzone nominata Io sì, del film con Sofia Loren, diretto da Edoardo Ponti.
Ma è la prima volta che io vedo questo film con un pubblico. Non l'ho mai visto prima. Milioni di persone hanno visto questo film senza di me.
La Pausini ha anche colto l'occasione per lanciare un messaggio importante sugli aiuti ad un settore, quello dell'intrattenimento e della musica, che è stato tra i più penalizzati dal Covid.
Adesso bisogna cominciare a fare qualcosa di concreto per loro, perché per noi non si sta lavorando nella musica da troppo tempo, gli spettacoli sono considerati come non un bene di necessità emozionale primario, e non trovo che sia giusto.
Parliamo ora del Festival Los Angeles Italia 2021, quest'anno in presenza e online da Hollywood, con tutte le migliori produzioni italiane, dal Pinocchio di Matteo Garrone alla colonna sonora del film con Sofia Loren, cantata da Laura Pausini, fino all'omaggio a Ennio Morricone. Leonardo Metalli.
è partita ufficialmente la 16ª edizione del Los Angeles Italia Film Fashion and Art Fest al Chinese Theatre di Hollywood, con l'omaggio a Ennio Morricone e una dedica musicale del figlio Andrea. A seguire una serie di appuntamenti fino alla notte degli Oscar il 25 aprile. Il festival, organizzato e prodotto da Pascal Vicedomini con la presidenza onoraria di Tony Renis, segna la riapertura delle attività artistiche italiane in America.
Los Angeles Italia non si ferma, anzi raddoppia, doppia chiave di lettura fisica e virtuale.
Siamo davvero orgogliosi quest'anno di poter proporre, malgrado il difficile momento, il festival sia al Chinese Theatre di Hollywood sia attraverso le piattaforme digitali che consentiranno a tantissimi cittadini americani di apprezzare le migliori opere italiane dell'anno.
Quali sono gli appuntamenti?
Ma innanzitutto un omaggio al maestro Morricone, scomparso lo scorso luglio, insieme a suo figlio Andrea Griminelli. E poi avremo veramente una parata di film italiani o che hanno a che fare con gli italiani straordinaria, da Pinocchio di Garrone alla vita davanti a sé di Edoardo Ponti con Sofia Loren.
Un omaggio a Laura Pausini.
Sì, Laura Pausini è l'unica autorizzata a viaggiare oltreoceano perché si esibirà la notte degli Oscar il domenica 25 per cantare questa canzone che ha scritto insieme a Diane Warren e a Nicolò Iardi, Io sì. Tutti quanti ci auguriamo che porti a casa l'ambita statuetta dopo aver vinto già il Golden Globe. So Daniel, we're going really forward the Oscar.
Yes.
I mean, yesterday we did have George Pennacchio here telling us all the restriction.
Yeah, they're actually doing the Oscar in several places. They're doing it at the Union Station, come Roma Termini, di Los Angeles, is where the actual awards will be done. They're doing the music at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the museum, which will open in September with Sophia Loren. But they're doing that there. But they will be using the Dolby Theater at the Chinese Theater for a public, and the public is for first responders, for certainly nurses, everybody that's been in the front lines in all the COVID will be there watching the Oscars on the big screen while they're doing it safely at another place. So it's a little confusing, a little interesting, but in Los Angeles it's all sort of the same, because in Los Angeles you're always in your car. So I think they'll all feel at home that way.
Yeah, but it won't be the same. And if you listen to the protocol that yesterday George Pennacchio was telling us, it's just crazy. However, we really are enthusiastic to be at Chinese Theatre showing all the Italian best movies of the year. I want to tell you about tonight's program. With 4 o'clock, Fellini of the Spirits, to follow The Luminous View, directed by Fabrizio Ferraro, who actually was this year Berlinale. At 9 o'clock, it was Spring Outside, a movie directed by Gabriele Salvatore, the Oscar winner for Mediterranean, who actually is a collection of a few videos you received by many Italian filmmakers about shot during the pandemic. So another beautiful program, and then of course you can also check out what is going on the two platforms we are using. So I mean,
there's eventive.org, and also mymovies.it, and you can see these Italian movies, lots of Italian movies, over 100 Italian movies you'll be able to see in America.
163 movies altogether.
163 in America. In Italia, you'll be able to see some of those as well, but this is mainly for the Los Angeles Italia Film Festival. So this is so that America can enjoy the Italian culture and the Italian film.
And this festival, as no doubt, is dedicated to the legendary maestro Ennio Morricone. We started this event on Sunday, April 18, with a special dedication to the maestro. And I am really happy to show you again, for somebody who did not see it, what did Andrea Morricone, the maestro's son, and Andrea Griminelli said us, and then also performed for the maestro. Enjoy. I mean, it's a very special moment because I have with me his son, Andrea Morricone, and the other son, the second of the three sons of Maestro Morricone and Miss Maria Morricone.
Ciao,
and
Pascal.
Ciao,
Ciao,
Andrea. With another Andrea, a genius of flute, Andrea Griminelli, who actually was with us in Los Angeles when we honored the Maestro Ennio with the star on the Walk of Fame. It was a beautiful day of the 2016, and Maestro was even not going to come to Los Angeles to collect the Oscar, but everybody was begging, please come, because you know he deserved the Oscar much longer before, no, Andrea?
Way before, yes, of course. And thanks for for giving me the opportunity of underlining that. Turned out that when it was at the mission, it was there in Los Angeles, and and he was expecting to get the award. Anyway, he finally got 2 awards, and I really would like to say, how. When it comes about my father's music, that we are going to play, just want to leave pace to it, because I'm actually speechless. This is so beautiful what we are doing for him in this beautiful tribute to him and his music.
But also, Andrea, I remember, one second, Criminelli, 1 minute. I remember the last images you saw is referring to the last public appearance of Maestro Ennio Morricone at the Senato della Repubblica, where President Casellati honored him. It was early January in 2020. I was there with our honorary president Tony Renis to celebrate Maestro Morricone, and President Casellati honored him with the medal. And after Maestro directed the Roma Sinfonietta for the national anthem, then he performed another song, but then he gave the scene to Andrea, his wonderful son, to celebrate. So how touching was to be on stage at the Senato della Repubblica Italiana in front of so many people and under the eyes, the control of your father. How was tough for you, Andrea?
Well, it was fantastic. It was truly amazing, just being part of this beautiful crowd. And of course, my father was coming towards me and, and taking me out on stage. It was truly a beautiful moment that I cannot forget, and I will not forget.
Griminelli, I don't have enough thank for you, because you flew all over from Colombia to celebrate Maestro Morricone in 2016 on the Walk of Fame.
I remember.
This was the first time a classic musician like you was performing in front of a crowd on the Walk of Fame, and you were performing under also the control of Maestro Ennio, who actually loved you, but he was always very skeptic, as he was no?
I have to thank you, because it was one of my incredible memory with Maestro Morricone. I gave this surprise to play the mission in Los Angeles, and for me it was memorable. And I had the chance to work with him for many, many years. He dedicated to me a flute concerto, and we did the world premiere together. And we did many, many things together. But today, Andrea, with his son, we are going to pay a tribute to him, and we are going to play something special. Also, the team of Cinema Paradiso, who Andrea is the composer, Andrea Morricone, the famous love team of Cinema Paradiso, and we're going to play The Mission, and we're going to play also Once Upon a Time in the West. A special tribute to Ennio Morricone from his son playing
la musica
the piano
pronta?
and playing the flute.
Such a pleasure to be, playing. I'm going to play this with Andrea. You're such a pleasure.
We are very old friends also. We know each other for many years.
Yes,
Pascal, what a beautiful festival. Thank you so much to you and all the people who are, inside the organization making this possible. And I really would like to say, you know, when it comes about music for movie, I was just listening to my father, you know, a beautiful speech, so deep, you know, it comes about love, it comes about, you know, making yourself, you know, available to the director, to the picture, and just thinking, you know, on how, you know, giving your contribution, your help, your skill, you know, to make it sound amazing, you know. And therefore, my father is truly the big example that everybody is referring to, no matter style of music, languages he's playing, no matter this, everybody is referring to him, and this is incredible, you know, something beautiful that you know, everybody has the gift of.
Che bellezza, che bellezza, devo dire. It's
Yeah, what
wonderful.
a beautiful moment, Andrea Griminelli, and please, Andrea Morricone, thank you so much. This is such a thrill for me to listen this marvelous song you wrote for the masterpiece directed by Giuseppe Tornatore. I know that Giuseppe Tornatore is preparing a documentary since a long time about your father. I know that he has involved all the major talents from all over the world, because everybody loves Ennio Morricone. Do you know anything about this Tornatore documentary, Andrea?
Here you go. Yes, indeed. Giuseppe Tornatore is preparing a documentary on my father, and he's in the final, process of editing this. And right now, about last, he has quite a duration, kind of, a few hours. And I've heard that, from my family, from Brother Giovanni, he's working on maybe, a little, smaller and suitable, to be shown on nelle sale di cinema. Ecco, questo colgo l'occasione anche di dire al cinema veramente un augurio di poter riaprire le porte. Tutti abbiamo bisogno. We all need, cinema, and to go to the cinema, to enjoy, have the pleasure of, going with friends to see movies. And I do hope that this will happen very soon, also because of the music.
One more beautiful music in honor of the one and only Ennio Morricone by Andrea Morricone and Andrea Griminelli.
Let's go.
It's like a prayer. It's maestro e maestro, and in tribute to the maestro. It's really just an extraordinary way to begin this festival, Los Angeles Italia Festival, which celebrates art and friendship, and I can't think of a better way.
Yes, I'm very, very proud of this moment. We have a longer moment with Andrea Griminelli, Andrea Morricone.
Thank you. It's a different year for the Oscars. I was down at Union Station yesterday where all the action's taking place, but it's a working train station and some things are closed off, but there's no construction until Saturday. So we won't get a look at what the Oscars are really going to look like until a day before the show, which is unlike any Oscars I've covered in almost 30 years.
So I don't understand. So the Oscar this year would not take place at the Chinese Theater?
No, it's not going to be at the Dolby Theater. There will be people there, but they won't be the stars that are nominated for Oscars. So what's happening this year, because of COVID, I think is the reason, the Oscars will take place at Union Station. There'll be 170 people allowed in there at a time. Well, that means that not everyone can be there all at once. So people will be filtered in and out of Union Station. So they might be there for the first hour, the second hour, the third hour. We have to wait and see. And then the Dolby Theater, which is usually the home of the Oscars, will be a safely distanced place where first responders will get to enjoy a special night devoted to the movies. So you're going to see nurses and firemen and perhaps doctors and ambulance drivers and various folks like that who will get something special, but in a safe way. And there are lots of safety protocols in place. I will have had 2 or 3 COVID tests before I'm ever on that red carpet on Sunday, because they're being very, very careful.
So we'll be the red carpet for sure.
I will be on the red carpet, but it's a small red carpet just because of the place where it's happening and because of the social distancing that's going on. So if you can put this into perspective, there'll be a network pre-show, and then following that stage, I'm the first position on the red carpet. And then after me, there will be, I think, 11 more slots, but we will all be spaced 7 feet apart, and the stars will be placed 7 feet from us, and our camera people who are running our cameras will be 7 feet behind me. Also, we are very safely distanced from one another, even though we've all been tested. But it's just, again, making sure that every protocol is followed carefully so we're all safe on that red carpet.
So I have a question, George. This is Dan McVicker. The performances of the songs, where are those going to take place? Are those going to be at the Union Station or another location?
They're going to be in another location. Now, all those songs you're going to see on the network pre-show, which in LA will air between 3:30 and 5. I don't know if they'll all be together, if they'll be distanced for that 90 minutes that they're doing their show. 4 of the 5 performances will have been recorded, if they haven't already, at the new Family Pavilion at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. So it's that gorgeous glass rotunda. That's where you're going to see 4 of the 5. But one of them is an international song called Husavik from the movie Eurovision. And that particular song will be performed from Husavik, Iceland, and then aired here all over the world.
So, Giorgio, going back to the main issue you're here, we have here the maestro Bobby Moresco, Oscar winner for Crash, who is originally from Liguria. Where are you originally from, Italy?
Me and my family in Italy would be, there's an argument, as I think happens in some families, but part of the family says Rome and part of the family says Abruzzo. Is that it? Did I get that right?
It's your family.
I know, but they are, it's like at a dinner table when they argue about where they're from. So I would say, I'll say Rome to be kinder, and it's an easier word for me to say.
George, Robert before was scared that this year will be a lot of politics in the Oscar. What do you think?
Well, I was in a news conference about what they're trying to do this year, and that we were hearing from producers. And I think that because I think there's going to be more time for people to speak, but what they ask of the celebrities or various people who might win an Oscar to really just speak from their heart. And they want to make it a movie about motion pictures. And so there's this whole kind of mystery about what that all means. And I guess we'll figure it out once the show starts going on. But they are asking for personal stories. They, once again, and Robert, I'm sure knows this, they beg you not to do a laundry list of people that helped you, because you get a speech going on and they thank the director, then the producer, and then the co-star, and then the wardrobe person and the makeup person and their publicist and their manager and agent, and nobody at home wants to hear that. But this time, I don't think they're limiting them to 45 seconds. So they've spoken to them, I'm told, individually, or at least they've gotten letters saying, this is what we'd love you to do. Have a story ready. Have a story ready about your life, your career, why this matters, that kind of thing, I believe. So I'm hoping that it's not going to get political. I'm sure it will at some point. Every award show seems to. But I think the goal is to embrace the love of movies. And so if that happens, it could be a wonderful night. we don't. I mean, this is a mystery year, as I'm sure you know. So I don't know, but that's my hope anyway.
Well, I hope it's not politicized.
George Pennacchio, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I was asking you a question. Sorry, no. I was saying that we are talking about another America in front of the one that we were used to know. So we heard that the Archlight Theater is closed, the MC has some problem, and I mean, it's Los Angeles is in a little crisis. What do you think?
We are in trouble as theaters, I think, in Los Angeles right now. You're right. The ArcLight Pacific theaters are the ones that are closing here, and the Cinerama Dome is a legendary place in Hollywood. It's a landmark, and that's, I think, what is attached to the ArcLight in Hollywood. And there is a lot of thought that there will be someone that comes forward, buys the Cinerama Dome or buys that theater to keep it in operation. I don't really know how well the Cinerama Dome was doing before all this happened, but everyone, it seemed, that we interviewed for our news had a story about going to the Cinerama Dome and could remember the movie that they saw there once upon a time. So I don't think you're going to see the Cinerama Dome closed for good. I think there'll be somebody who wants their history lives, and there's a lot of money in this, I think, for a group or a person even to keep it alive.
Yes.
Gina, will you go back to New Amsterdam? I feel like that storyline was interesting for me to watch.
Oh, thank you. You know, it was just starting to get good. I mean, I kind of did a couple to get to the juicy part. And then, of course, everything got shut down. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to continue because everything changed so much. So I'm not sure. It was just too bad because they were writing me a really good one. But,
yeah.
You know.
What's your feeling listening to all these stories?
Well, I think we're all experiencing a little same things, I think, because I feel isolation. I've been working from home for more than a year now, occasionally going out. This is the first time this week that I am actually with a crew, and I'm stationed every afternoon now at Union Station covering the Oscars. But this is the first time all that time. So I find that when I finally see somebody in person, conversations are lasting longer, maybe putting me behind schedule a little bit, because it's just so nice to have the interaction. You know, we got to dinner the other night, my wife and I, and we hadn't really been out to dinner much. And we walked into a restaurant, and none of the workers had on a mask, and the cooks didn't, and the waitress didn't, and we just couldn't stay. So I didn't feel, even though I'm vaccinated, safe.
George,
So
that's in LA, because I've gone out recently, but the theater, the restaurants are everyone's masked up. I mean, you went to mask, really?
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. So there's a place you can read online.
That was smart to leave. I would have left too.
Roberto
Il
Stabile.
Pastaio, they're wearing masks.
Roberto Stabile, in this panel today, we're missing another great friend of us, another Oscar winner, another amazing screenwriter, Steven Zellian. When was the last time you visited Italy?
It was a couple of years ago. It was on a cruise on Viking, and I remember one of the highlights, and this is going to sound weird because people thought it was going to be a goofy tour, but they do a Godfather tour, and you get to go there where Michael proposed at that little, I don't know, bodega, and then they take you to the church where he got married. It was a beautiful walking tour, and we also got to explore Rome a lot more. You can get these great tours where they have special permit to drive right up to something. So I love going to Italy, and I have several more places to still see. So that's going to be part of our travels. Pascal, I am late for a station Oscar meeting as I look at the clock. So
thank you so much, George. I love you. You are a great friend. Thank you really so much. It was a joy to have you here. Have a wonderful Oscar weekend. And I will follow your shadow. I want to also thank Nick Vallelonga, Barry Morrow, Gina Gershon, my beloved Ischia Presidentessa, and Bobby Moresco, who is one of my best buddy ever. He always a great partner for me to be on stage. And also Daniel De Quicker, who actually my prisoner, my American prisoner in Roma, in order to feel, my back is the Chinese theater, where we really feel very Americano. And
it was great spending this evening with you, with everybody. It was indeed a great pleasure. And we'll see you in Consul General. It was, is up for an Oscar.
And this is also a philosophy of our festival. In all the festival of my area, the first one was Capri in 1995, then Ischia in 2003, and then finally Los Angeles in 2006. Always a great combination between cinema and music, not only because I am a big fan of music, but also because our honorary president is a true legend. Tony Rennis, Golden Globe winner and Oscar nominated composer, as well as Carol Baez Seeger and David Foster for the song, The Prayer, that Andrea Bocelli and then together with Celine Dion won this Golden Globe and then came to the Oscar to win. But tonight I am very happy because really there is a group of people who actually, we had the three of them in Capri Festival. Today the gang has become even bigger because let's show what we have. We have here with us the legendary 12-time nominated to the Oscar Diane Warren, as well as Laura Pausini, Edoardo Ponti, Niccolò Aiardi for the first time with us, and look at this young fellow. I love him, he's amazing. He's Ibrahim Ghi, and this is the surprise of the day, the co-star of the movie. He has been doing an amazing job close to Sophia Loren, and we want to give him a big applause because you really deserve it, Ibrahim.
Chapeau. Bravo. Very fine work, young man.
So Eduardo, we got a very nice group. It's an important week starting today. The longest week for Laura Pausini and Diane Warren and Niccolò Aiardi, no?
Well, listen, it's a long week, but it's a week that none of us will ever forget. It's a celebration not only of the artistry and the talent of these amazing women, it's also a celebration of the movie and the story behind the movie, a story of tolerance, of humanity, of empathy. And it's also a celebration of film. It's a celebration of telling stories that move people, that inspire people, and that hopefully empower people. So thank you, Pascal, for organizing this amazing, amazing platform for all of us to be at.
Well, it's a pleasure. This year festival, it's a little complicated. Normally, I have with me every single year the woman that I really love, Diane Warren. Last year, we were in time to celebrate her for the 11th time at the Chinese Theater. The opening night was beautiful with Danny Houston and of course Nick Vallelonga and many other friends, but this year is even special. And however we are not together physically, we are together very strong. I already imagine you, hugging you on the red carpet as usual, Diane.
Hugging you back.
A virtual hug, there you go.
Yes. Not as
so
good,
Diane,
but
how does it feel?
it felt great, but a real one feels better. So we'll have to do that soon.
Yeah, so 12 times, my love.
I know, crazy, right? And this is so special. This one, I mean, this really feels special. And crossing fingers, praying, doing everything, it's such a beautiful movie. Laura is so amazing. Sophia, Ivra, everything, Eduardo, everything is just great. I'm honored to be a part of this.
I remember when you last year were supposed to come to Ischia because you were supposed to go to visit Eduardo and Miss Sophia Loren on the set in Puglia, but then you didn't make it. I hope that next summer, here in July, we're gonna all celebrate together in Ischia, where actually Laura Pausini already came once, but this time I would like you to all come and make a beautiful party on the beach. What do you think, Laura?
It will be amazing. I can't wait to celebrate Italian opening barriers and everything. Because I'm also like in a prison because I'm in quarantine here, and I cannot go out even in Los Angeles. So
you've arrived for the Oscars.
Sorry, Daniel.
Hi, Laura. I didn't know you've arrived for the Oscars. You're one of the few people that actually, the only person from Italy who was able to come to the Oscars this year.
All right, real? I didn't know. I thought the other woman from the Pinocchio were here, but okay. So another big responsibility for me.
But no pressure, Laura. Laura, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
No. It's like you're singing in the shower. Singing in your backyard by a barbecue. It's nothing. Nobody will see it. Nobody's gonna see it.
Okay, I'll think about it. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna be like this kind of mood.
See. Nobody's
good idea. Good idea.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So, Niccolò Aiardi, how was to work with Laura and Diane Warren?
I will be short because my English is not enough good to stay with old people that I see at the moment. So I try to speak in Italian and then I give you a possibility of translation for them. È stato è oltre ogni onore, è oltre ogni aspettativa e possibilità. Posso solo dirti che Edoardo, Laura e Diane mi hanno dato la possibilità di raccontare una storia cinematografica ma anche molto personale di accoglienza, perché questo è un film che parla di generosità e di affido e io ho potuto vedere questo film con il mio figlio affidatario che è arrivato in casa mia pochi mesi prima della commissione di questo lavoro, quindi per me è un'emozione al di là della professione, è un'emozione dell'anima e del cuore. So thanks everybody, for sure.
Ibrahim, tu parli inglese?
Sta studiando.
Ah, bene, allora ti faccio una domanda in italiano. Quando hai saputo che Edoardo Ponti ti aveva scelto, hai fatto un salto più lungo di quello che ha fatto Laura quando ha vinto il Golden Globe oppure ti sei trattenuto?
Io mi sono un po', cioè, ero molto contento perché, cioè, però sì, non ho risultato perché stavo in macchina, quindi però ero molto contento.
Ah sì. So Diane, it has been an amazing job with such a young and talented director, but with the legend of the legends, Miss Sophia Loren. So whenever even I mention her name, I start shaking. This is the power of a strong woman.
Yeah. And beautiful on the inside and beautiful on the outside. You know, I mean, I'm honored to have had a song in a movie that's starring Sophia Loren. What can I say? And Eduardo, thank you for that.
Thank you. And you know what? My mother was just talking about this whole experience, and she always says, you know, remind Laura and Diane that I absolutely love them. And even though she can't be here because of COVID, that she's here in our hearts, in the spirit, and on stage with you, while you'll be singing in spirit and emotionally. So she wanted me to relay that to you guys.
Thank you.
Laura, to be associated with the legend of the legend, Miss Sophia Loren. Now you are really a prima donna because you in a proper way. Because yeah, we know in Italiano it has not the same meaning of Americano, but a first lady. You are definitely a first lady.
First lady, yes.
Now, as I told you before, it's another big responsibility. First of all, because the song is a step up from the message that Edoardo wanted to give to the movie, the whole movie. So we just wanted to be the voice of Sofia talking with Ibra, because Madame Rosa at this point of the movie is having not a chat, but something like very touching and special through the song, talking with Momo. And so this is touching, but especially thinking about giving a voice, singing to the icon, the only and the one and only Sofia is, I don't know what to say, because it's still so touching. So I'm so honored. And now that I'm here and I have to sing, I want to be as good as I can. I mean, the best of the best I can give to this song and to the movie and to Sofia and Edoardo and all the staff, Diane, Nicolò, Ibra, to let us shine. Not me, but the movie, the message. We are a family with a message to give. And so it is a responsibility that I want to take, and I want to do it at my best.
Isn't
Diane,
isn't
this
that
is
beautiful? What
definitely
she said, that it's a family with a message to give. That's a beautiful thing, Laura. It's a beautiful thing that you said. It's true. You know what? And it shows in the way that we all relate to one another.
Yes,
We're a
yeah.
family with a commmmon message to share, and it's a beautiful thing. Thank you for saying that.
When I speak with Diane, and sometimes we're having interviews together, we always feel the same. Like we built a family while you called us to be part of yours. So it is the same message that you want to give to the whole world through the movie. So it's so real that probably this is the meaning of what we are living today. People are receiving that.
Yes.
So we are, Diane, can you confirm, right? We always talk about it.
Yeah, and and what we're talking about also is we live in a time where people they don't feel seen. You know, so many people feel invisible. And on top of that, you have COVID, where people couldn't see their family and their friends and really felt, really felt invisible, So this song, and I love when Laura says Lara, sorry, I always say Laura. She said the Italian way, Lara. When you say it's like a hug, that this song's like a hug. I love that. It's like, I love that image. And it's just, if the message of the song is really important. I mean, it's important for the movie, and outside of the movie, it's taken on a life as well, where it's, which is a beautiful thing too.
It is indeed a powerful song, and Laura, we all love you, and we're at your backs as you sing, and we're all part of you. So you will sail.
Ibra, dimmi una cosa, ma come era la signora Loren sul set? Era più come una seconda mamma o come una brava maestra?
Una nonna.
La nonna, quindi bravissima, perché normalmente le nonne sono molto più brave delle mamme, almeno così io la vedevo io.
Concordo.
Pascal, posso fare una domanda a Ibra?
Certo.
Perché io sono una sua grande fan e mi sono chiesta come sia stato possibile essere così professionale e così pieno di talento al suo primo film. Questo è il tuo primo film, vero Ibra?
Sì.
E come ti sei sentito mentre recitavi? Perché mi sembravi molto naturale, cioè pensi di essere nato con questo talento così speciale e di voler continuare a fare l'attore, vero? Spero.
Sì, mi piacerebbe continuare.
E beh, anche a noi piacerebbe, perché sei stato veramente fantastico. Io ogni volta che guardo questo film sono impressionata ovviamente da Sofia e dagli altri attori, ma veramente tu hai dato un'anima diversa, nuova. Io sono veramente una tua grande fan, ti voglio fare veramente tanti applausi davanti a tutti. Edoardo lo sa, perché glielo dico spesso, che sono davvero colpita da questo tuo talento.
Grazie mille.
Edoardo!
Sì, scusami, dimmi Pascal.
No, sentiamo che dice a Ibra, scusami Ibra.
No, volevo dire che Ibra ha questa combinazione unica di un grandissimo cuore e un grandissimo senso di impegno. Ce l'ha messa tutta, ma non solo tutta, ma ha messo anche tutta la sua anima in questo lavoro, in questo personaggio. È una persona veramente, veramente eccezionale, che si merita tutto quello che gli sta succedendo.
Immagino che non sia neanche facile alla sua età decidere di farsi dirigere, essere anche capace di farsi dirigere. Quindi anche Edoardo, immagino che abbiate avuto una relazione veramente familiare per poter fare il ruolo di un figlio.
No, siamo stati fratelli dall'inizio.
Si vede, bravi.
Your brothers at the very
Ibra, mi
beginning.
raccomando, studia le lingue. perché
lo
chi
so,
ha
gliel'ho
iniziato...
detto, adesso deve iniziare a studiare l'inglese, assolutamente, non c'è dubbio.
Infatti lo sto studiando, sto guardando film in inglese e sto leggendo molto in inglese.
Bravo, bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
Bravo.
Next year, l'anno prossimo vieni con noi a Los Angeles, un po' di giri a
Sì,
Disney
dai.
World, a Universal
Sì.
Pictures e poi Diana, is definitely a special year. For sure, this is a special year. So, what is the feeling that you bring with you on Sunday for this ceremony? Actually, is the celebration of joy of vivre, of of cinema, of art, in a very difficult moment for the global society.
You know, both film and music offer healing, right? They're like, we need that. We need to see movies. We need to hear music, especially with the song right now. You know that this is the song this year. That it's so exciting. It's always exciting to be nominated. I've been nominated before, but it's always exciting. But the fact that it's this song this year, it just feels so special. It really does. And yeah, a week from today, yikes.
Oh,
so
man.
everything's crossed. I want everybody to cross everything.
Everything.
I am.
Laura, tu hai già detto che insomma sei emozionata, sei in quarantena, è un momento magico, sono felice che anche la tua bambina stia vivendo questa forte emozione di una mamma così giovane, gagliarda, tutta Solarolo, immagino il parroco di Solarolo che sta lì con le campane pronte. Mi ricordo che per la premiazione di Capri you started making like scongiuri. I wanted to bring a little corniciello for you today.
I have everything with me. I brought with me all the things from Italy that hopefully will give us luck. But yes, of course, I have my bacchetta magica and also my Unipop, which is a cacca.
Che vuol dire
Well, I have a wand, which is magical and also a poo. A unicorn poop that I want to show you. I want to show you the poop because it can be like horrible to say, but it's very nice.
Laura, show us your poop.
Let me bring it.
So, Ghi, ascoltami Ghi, cosa vuoi fare da grande tu? L'attore oppure hai in mente qualche altro mestiere?
Io?
Sì, Ibra.
L'attore.
Ah, bene. E allora vedrai che adesso io ed Edoardo e io, vediamo come faremo in modo che tu possa fare anche una bella scuola, ti daremo una grossa mano, vedrai. Sarai diventato un po' il nostro pupillo, lavoreremo per te, non ti preoccupare. Nicolò, è veramente una grande gioia, no? Avere questo tipo di vigilia in un momento così delicato, insomma mi fa piacere in questo momento di essere gioioso per far sorridere un po' tante persone che invece poi tanta voglia di sorridere in questo momento non la hanno. Voglio ricordare anche a Laura che ieri a Piazza del Popolo c'è stata una manifestazione alla quale hanno partecipato tutti i lavoratori dello spettacolo, coloro che lavorano in silenzio, dai datori delle luci alle security, dai mixer, piuttosto tutta la gente che fa in modo che lo spettacolo vada avanti. Ecco, cosa vogliamo dire a queste persone che guardano al futuro con speranza di poter ritornare presto sulla scena?
Ma non solo con speranza, adesso bisogna cominciare a fare qualcosa di concreto per loro, perché per noi non si sta lavorando nella musica da troppo tempo, gli spettacoli sono considerati come non un bene di necessità emozionale primario e non trovo che sia giusto e la manifestazione di ieri, ancora una volta, perché non è la prima che fanno, Bauli in Piazza, è stata importante secondo me, è stata un grido al governo cercando di sensibilizzare ancora una volta le persone che devono decidere di riaprire, ovviamente in sicurezza, come tutti siamo da sempre pronti a rispettare, però adesso non si può più stare fermi. Molti di loro alcuni di loro, i ragazzi che c'erano ieri in piazza, sono i ragazzi che lavorano insieme a me, c'erano anche alcuni miei colleghi, sono stata molto contenta di vederli lì. Io ho fatto, in quel momento ero in volo, mi sono collegata dall'aereo e ho cercato di mettere delle storie sul mio Instagram per far vedere che cosa stava succedendo, e ovviamente sono con loro assolutamente al 100%.
Bene. Diane, what's your hope for the next future? I imagine, you've been through all the the sadness that everybody. Oh, this is
that is a magical
That's a big unicorn. That was a big unicorn.
It's a very colorful.
Big unicorn. You see
I
that?
need one of those. I need one. How do I get one of those?
Yes,
I
let
need
me
one.
send you one. Send you
Laura,
one.
You start with a
Laura,
unicorn.
Laura, my question is, what do you need to eat to have such colorful poop? Because it's not
Guys, please,
Donuts.
but please, Diane, let's go back on serious issue. Diane, what's your hope, really, sincerely, for the next future? I mean, Laura has been talking about the importance of the show business to go back to the reality. What is your hope?
My hope is that people see each other and love each other, and see and I'm a big animal advocate and animal activist. So I hope that everybody sees animals. Everybody deserves to have a beautiful life, and when we see each other with our hearts, which is the message of the song, whether it's humans, animals, we'll have a better planet. We'll have a better world. And my immediate plans are, I'm thinking of a week from Sunday, and just, again, I need a little miniature unicorn poop, I think.
I tried to send you something directly from Napoli. But maybe there is an Ischia community in San Pedro, close to Los Angeles, where maybe you can find all the Neapolitan superstition issues. I will call on my friend.
Okay, we need it.
Diane, can Laura put her poo on the piano when she's singing for the Oscars?
Oh my God! Oh, the Oscars! No.
Eduardo, you are the devil. Eduardo, don't say Laura this, please, Laura. Please.
Don't say that to me, because I'm gonna do it.
No, Laura, please, don't do it, please. You represent Italy, please, don't do it. You are such a classy lady. I can imagine with your Armani suit that you are right there, very classy, very chic, with the Privé Armani. You go there, you live on the piano. That no.
It's beautiful. It's human.
I want to put eyes on it. I want to put eyes on the poop and put it right on the piano.
Look, let me just tell you something. This year, Diane and I will be in Valentino, Maison Valentino dressed. And they designed a beautiful dress for me with come si dice tasca che non mi viene adesso? A pocket for this one.
Oh,
I'll have it like hiding in my dress, but I'll have it with me. So I need a place for the poop.
I'll put that in my purse. I'll put it in my purse.
Yeah, put it in your purse.
Okay, I think it's time to go.
Yes,
I think it's time to go. Now,
like a chignon. Like a chignon.
I think it's going, there is another kid here, not only Ibra, another Italian kid who actually is the guy that acted as Pinocchio. This is the Garrone's Pinocchio in person with me. This means that after your conference with me here, we're going to have a Pinocchio section with Federico. Hello, Federico.
Hi. You want to say hi to Laura Pausini?
Hi Laura Pausini.
And also to Edoardo Ponti.
Hi Edoardo.
And Diane Warren.
Hi Daya.
And also Ibra.
Hi Ibra.
Yes, and Nicolò.
Hi Nicolò.
Okay, and hi everybody. This is an amazing, I love him. This is Federico Ielapi. This is really a sweet kid. He speaks perfect English. He's a very good student. At least he's a very good actor. And I'm so happy that we start in a family way, because Los Angeles Italia is a family festival, as Diane can tell. She has been with us so many times. Laura knows about Ischia, but this is the feeling. It's all about family, it's all about art, it's all about friendship, it's all about talent. And we are so proud that today we start Los Angeles Italia with Pinocchio at 4 o'clock there at Chinese Theater. Then at 6:45 we're gonna start with Edoardo Ponti, the only one allowed to go to the Chinese Theater for the movie The Life Ahead, because both Diane and Laura are closed in the house for the Oscar quarantine. And then Ibra, you are invited from now to come to Ischia, July 14-25. How is Ischia?
Pretty nice. Super nice.
Okay.
And it's cool.
It's cool. Diglielo in italiano, ti piace Ischia?
Sì, è bellissimo.
Io dico, Ibra invita Ibra, lascia lì.
Ibra, vieni a Ischia perché è bellissima.
E naturalmente anche Nicolò Iardi. So guys,
Grazie.
thank you so much. We close this section with, of course, the video. EOC, Scene, the song performed by the one and only Laura Pausini, written by Laura, the legendary Diane Warren, Nicolò Iardi, for this movie, the beautiful The Life Ahead, La vita davanti a sé, di Edoardo Ponti. Evviva il cinema! Evviva la musica, and God bless Italy and America, Diane.
Yes.
Ciao.
Grazie. Evviva Pascal. Evviva Pascal.
Un abbraccio a voi, un abbraccio Diane, un abbraccio Laura, un abbraccio Edo. Ciao, grazie. Ciao Ibra. Ciao.
Quando tu finisci le parole, sto qui, forse a te ne servono due sole. Sto qui, quando impari a sopravvivere e accetti l'impossibile, nessuno ci crede. Io sì, 'cause I see you, and I see too who you are. You can hide from me. I want you to know that you're seen. Quando tu non sai più dove andare, sto qui, scappi via o alzi le barriere, sto qui, quando essere invisibile è peggio che non vivere, nessuno ti vede, io sì, 'cause I see you, and I see too who you are. You can hide vita davanti a sé. Non lo so, io che destino è il tuo, ma se vuoi, se mi vuoi, sono qui. Nessuno ti vede, io sì. I want you to know that you're